but if that was, say, me, say, missing out 2 or hits, say, on a Warburg pillage, then there's a big difference between max and being 2 shots off max. Here I was just checking that the building report was alright, and the guy that was booching had pulled himself up to a fine, so that was okay. I've actually got a pretty good crew on this pillage. I mean, they might have low stats, but they've all worked really hard so far. I mean, there's been a couple of people change stations, but they've all been eager to puzzle. Another thing I mentioned here was that it's probably a better idea to try and stick close to port if you can. You don't really want to go wandering off too much. I mean, stick within 2 or 3 leagues of port, so if anything does happen, you can just sort of turn around and get back really easily. You might even just want to pillage on the single league point if you want to loot like Lima to Pollux. You could just stick to the first league point, and there's a lot of ships that pillage there, and on this sort of level it doesn't really matter whose ship you take, so this is what I'm explaining here, is just sort of stick in this sort of area. Now I'm just waiting to find my battle. There we go, I can spot my green ship there. I'm just having a quick look for it. Again, I'm getting ready to turn around, and just turn around in plenty of time so I can catch it. Just don't forget there's a bit of a time lag to actually engage something. Again, scan the board, pick what spot you want. I don't like the wind in this one, so I decided I wanted to try and drag the battle up there a little bit, but you'll see in this battle I wasn't actually able to do that. The ship just didn't have enough moves, so I just ended up fighting him in the wind. But I mean, if they don't have the moves for you to be able to drag the battles over there, it should be pretty easy anyway, so... You'll see me here, I'll just shoot a bit, and then I'll just pull back to the left, trying to drag him up to that open spot. It's all about trying to get to the clear open space. Don't nav in bad spots if there is a better alternative. And here I'm going back on guns, so you're just going to have to settle for the smaller view for a while. Hopefully once I get past the green routes I'll end up having gunners, so I'll be able to concentrate a lot more on commenting what I'm doing, and you just have to have a bit of better view of the board as well. Again here I'm just hoping he goes right, and I'm trying to drag him towards that open space. It makes it so much easier. But he just doesn't want to have it, and I think I was just having some people spam me on Skype that I had to get rid of. Yeah, here I'm pretty much starting to realise that this ship doesn't have any moves. Now I'm just sort of explaining about figuring out the runes. Like I've said in the previous videos, you really have to figure out how to do moves like this in plenty of time. If you're sitting here struggling trying to figure out how to use these runes, you should be going back to my simulators and just sort of practicing it. And here I get a pretty easy max. He just sort of sits there and takes the hits. And I get a nice easy grapple. Here I was just saying that wasn't really all that. I knew I was possibly going to get hit on this move, but because I pretty much had him max nil, I didn't really see any problem with risking taking a hit. And I don't actually take it, but this is the difference. If I'd taken a few hits, you want to just take the extra turn to go around. If you haven't taken any hits, you may as well just go for the speed. Because like I said, your aim here is like max 2, max 3 kind of scores. With the emphasis on maxing them, you always want to get max scores. Especially for the BNAV ranks, I think the thing that matters most is maxing your opponent, and then after that, the next most important thing is the speed. Quite honestly, the amount of damage you take is irrelevant.